Very strong on the index. You've got 10,539, 215 points higher on the Sensex, and you've got the broader markets too, which are holding out very comfortably. Names like Tata Motors, Asian Paints, Hero MotoCorp and ITC are flexing their muscles. But let's keep it then with earnings and focus in on Balrampur Chini. It's been a bit of a mixed quarter. The revenues have seen a good spike, but profits have been a bit tempered. Pramod Patwari is the CFO at Balrampur Chini Mills and now joins in to discuss the quarterly numbers. Good morning and thanks so much for joining in. Now, how has been the revenue for the company for the domestic sales as well as the exports? If you could break it up for us.
Yeah, both domestic as well as the export front have shown a very impressive growth. Domestically, we are selling sugar in accordance with the release mechanism. So in last quarter, there was a 37 lakh quintals of sale, both on account of domestic and export, which has grown to 45 lakh quintals of sugar.
And what about the exports? I'm sorry, I didn't manage to catch that.
Export this quarter was around 17 lakh quintals.
Okay. Now, you've commissioned a new distillery recently. Was that also captured in the distillery segment growth?
Correct. The operations at the distillery began on 12th of January. So to that extent, the revenue as well as the profitability has been captured.
Okay, fair point. Talking about the kind of, VO generation segment that one has seen and the kind of reduction in tariffs by the Uttar Pradesh government, would you say that also impacted the segmental performance for you?
You are talking of which segment?
Just talking about the kind of, the VO generation that one has seen.
Yeah, distillery performance has shown improvement and will continue to show improvement on account of our additional capacity, and as well as the thrust being put on by the government of India for higher percentage of blending. In sugar segment, we will continue to be guided by the release mechanism as well as the export quota, whatever we get. Cogeneration, we have decided at a company level to go slow after the reduction in the tariff, and we would be more interested in selling bagasse upfront rather than generating power.
What about your pricing and sales trends going forward? Are you witnessing that you're seeing in the sugar cycle at the moment? And also, second part of that, what kind of inventories is the industry sitting on?
As of 31st of March, we are sitting on an inventory of 67 lakh quintals, which has been valued at 29.5 rupees per kg. Current sugar realizations are around 33.5 plus.
And what about your pricing and the sales trends that you're seeing in the sugar cycle?
See, there is a lot of expectation that the government of India is going to come out with a revised MSP, which is around 33. Once that is in place, we expect a better realization in the sugar segment.
All right. And you've also been reducing your working capital. So what kind of levels would you like to see it at? How much reduction has been done so far?
If you see the operating cash flow of the company this year, we have been able to reduce or generate significant amount of free cash flows. The amount of cash flow which was generated this year is in excess of 800 crores, which was negative 500 crores last year in the same quarter. So we are continuously liquidating inventory in whatever manner it is possible on one hand, and on the second hand by adopting a very aggressive strategy on B-heavy increase. Thereby we are reducing the sugar inventory itself. The moment we produce ethanol out of B-heavy route, the working capital cash conversion cycle is extremely fast. We get money in our bank in next 30 days. So this has been the main point which has helped us to reduce the working capital deployment in the country, in the company.
Okay, and I just want to understand in terms of the situation with the lockdown, how your operations were impacted, and now with the lockdown easing, how you're seeing demand really coming back, and any sort of message that you have for shareholders on this front.
We being in the essential commodity space, there was, apart from initial hiccup when the lockdown was declared, otherwise we continued with our operations unabated. And as with the gradual lifting of lockdown, the demand for the sugar as well as the ethanol has been extremely good. For ethanol, the OMCs have done the reallocation of the storage location. They have done very aggressively. That has helped us in moving our ethanol. And in the month of May and June also, we are extremely surprised with the kind of demand which we are witnessing at this point in time.
Okay, fair enough. And what about the outlook when it comes to what you all would want to see from the government's trend in order to, aid the sugar industry in terms of the raise in MSP, etc.?
Apart from MSP, we expect government will continue with all the existing policies which they announced last year in the form of buffer stock and the export assistance. Revision of ethanol prices will happen sometime in the month of August and September. So ethanol prices are linked with the cost of production of sugar cane as well as the cost of production of sugar. It has nothing to do with the international crude prices or the petrol prices. So there is some hope of improvement in the prices of ethanol at that point in time also.
Got your point. Thank you for sharing with us your outlook on the industry trends as well as how the company has seen its operations shape up in Q4. Time for that quick break. Do stay with us on the other side as we wrap up some of the other important corporate stories of the day.